Hey everyone, this is Jeremy Schiefling with Khan Academy. I'm so thrilled that you could join us today because you are in for a real treat. We're being joined today live from Hesperia, California by Tim Vandenberg, who is a Khan Academy ambassador and serious Khan Academy power user. In fact, as you are about to hear, Tim has not only used Khan Academy to help his students soar to unforeseen heights, but he's also been able to train thousands of educators and parents around the country to use those same techniques in their classrooms and with their families. And so after having delivered one of the most popular webinars in Khan Academy's entire history, we are thrilled to have Tim back for an encore session. And with that said, I'm going to pass the microphone over to the man himself. Tim, please take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming today. Well, in case you didn't know, it's state testing season this spring, whether in March, April, May, maybe even June. Most states across the country are assessing, hey, did the kids grow? And this is one of the most unusual state testing seasons of all time, post the whole COVID pandemic and all the challenges with Zoom teaching and school lockdowns. So this is a bit of a grace period, I think, in most schools and districts, but we all want to hit the ground running and do the best job we can with our students so that we can all set them up for success for next school year. And also start putting into place some measures and systems to really help kids that we're going to receive next year also do well. So hopefully you'll find something you find valuable today and implement that in your classroom, both this school year and in the years to come. So are they ready for the state test? And how to know if they truly know. Like Jeremy said, I'm a 6th grade teacher, and here's a little bit about me. Let's see here. Moving on to our next slide. Okay, there we go. So I've been teaching for 27 years, teaching grades 5 through 12, mostly 6th grade. 6 years, I was a teaching credential professor at University of Redlands, California, while still keeping my teaching day job. So I've helped train teachers how to teach as well. And for 12 years, I've used Khan Academy in the classroom. In fact, I started using it with my own daughter when she was just before 1st grade, and she's graduating high school right now. That's how I knew it was 12 years. And apparently Khan Academy works because it was a key component in helping her through all of her school years, 1st grade through 12th grade. And she just received a full tuition scholarship, basically academic scholarship for the university she just got accepted to. So we're excited about that. And she admits that Khan Academy was a big part in making that happen. So I encourage all families, use Khan. Also, I've been using the Khan Academy's mastery learning model for the last 6 years, which basically means we're not here to cover the standards. We're here to learn and master the standards. I would rather my students master half of the state standards than cover all of it and yet not really learn any of it. So that's the way I teach. And the result of teaching that way with mastery learning that Sal Khan himself highly encourages teachers and parents to promote for their own children in classroom. The result is off the charts cohort growth year after year, and we'll see that in a second. But in case you're wondering, well, maybe Tim, teaches in like a high-end district, and all my kids come from great homes and all that kind of stuff. And I just wanted you to see, I teach normal kids, like most of you. 100% of the students at my school receive free breakfast and lunch. Only 10% of my students come to me at grade level for math. And that means 90% of them are below grade level, including almost half my students are at the farthest, they come to me at the farthest level from the state test the previous year. Now, because of COVID and school lockdowns, I don't have data from the previous year, but we have other measurements in place. And I know this is still holding true. In fact, they're probably lower. And I think that's true for most of you. Students are even lower than ever before. And then also 2/3 of my class came to me reading 2 years or more below grade level. And we all know under the current math instructional model for like with Common Core, reading math problems, story problems is very important. It's not just about numbers and arithmetic. It's about, can you apply the math in stories? And so they got to be able to read well too. So all these challenges are in place, as I'm sure they are for most of you as well. So this is a normal classroom, like most of you experience. So this is, I just want you to see, and you might have seen this in Jeremy's email advertising this webinar, This is a passing score on the California state test, this green line, 5th grade passing score, and it's normalized, so it's a flat line, 6th grade passing score. And this is the average California 6th grader from a few years ago, but this is pretty typical. And then this is my class, this is my county down here, and my district. So everybody's pretty far below passing as they end 5th grade. So after a year of school, even staying flat is good. That means they learned a year of school and they stayed just as far behind. They didn't get even further behind. And my data research shows that this year of California growth in the years before COVID was the best year ever of California's 6th grade growth. They grew a whole 1.2 points closer towards passing on the state test. Every other year that I found, they fell further behind. And then my county and my district did 3 times as well as the state. So good for them. Now here's my students right around the same area. And I just want you to see what happens if you use the kind of teaching that I use, and that is mastery learning with Khan Academy. This is why Jeremy asked me to do this seminar, because we have growth like this. This is what happens. So boom, look at that. That is 90 points of growth. And for 3 years in a row, I had growth very similar to that. So that wasn't not just a lucky group of kids. This is the same cohort. This group came to me this low and they ended the year this low, and I had 3 years in a row, the years leading up to COVID, just like that. Now with COVID and everything, things are gonna be very different, but I'm still expecting really big growth this year because I'm still teaching with the same method of mastery learning using Khan Academy. So let's see. Khan Academy plus mastery learning. These are those kids, by the way. Lives changed forever. And when you sign into Khan Academy and you do your registration information to sign in, you might recognize some of these faces on the sign-in screen. So, okay, so how do I know that my child or my student is ready for the state test? So, I don't know how many of you are parents or how many of you are teachers, and whether you are focusing on high school, middle school, elementary, but this has been crazy times with COVID. And we all know that the last 2 years has really been about catching up. Have they been learning in the classroom this year? Has your classroom been your child's classroom or your classroom that you teach? Have you been going back and doing a lot of remediation just so they can even catch up after 18 months or 2 years of COVID and Zoom teaching and school lockdowns? Or have you been hitting the ground running and you just started teaching 6th grade or whatever standards you teach, high school, algebra 2, pre-algebra, maybe 3rd grade math, whatever it is that you teach. So I want you to ask yourself, what have you actually been teaching in the classroom, or what has your child been learning in the classroom? Because if they've been remediating, that's good. But if they then take a state test and it shows they don't understand the material, well, maybe it's because they were remediating. So just be aware of that. But let's make sure we show grace and kindness to our students and teachers this school year as we get results back from state testing. So now I also have an assumption that you and your students are familiar with Khan Academy. You've got a classroom registered or your child registered and you know how to use it. So I'm assuming this is not a how to sign into Khan Academy for the very first time seminar. Reach out to Jeremy and the computer tech team at Khan Academy and they can get you up and running with the basics. But I'm assuming that you got a classroom already going. So how do I know my student or child is ready for the state test? First, I highly recommend you consider looking at your own state's official practice test options. For example, in California, where I teach, California has, for teachers to implement with students, I don't know that parents have access to this with their own child. Maybe they do. But teachers with their own students can do practice tests. They're called interim assessments. And there's formal and informal versions of this. And so look into that, because if it's the official state practice test options, then you can expose your students to what it's really like on the state test. Because, well, hopefully your state has assessments that are very similar to the real deal, and California does. So they're excellent, and I will be using those with my own class. But before I get to those with my class, I will be using the Khan Academy resources instead first. Now, also be aware that as you are measuring using Khan Academy, whether your child is at grade level and ready to pass the state test, make sure you choose the course that most closely matches your student's grade level state standards. For example, is your state a Common Core standard state or close to it? Does your state use Eureka Math or Engage New York or Illustrative Math? If so, Khan Academy has courses that are more tweaked and geared towards those state standards and those curriculum programs. So check with your school district or your state and see what matches the best. Also, for you high school teachers and middle school teachers that teach Algebra 1 and higher, or integrated math or math 1, 2, 3, be aware of the difference. Khan Academy has Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and high school geometry, or that's the more traditional model. There's also Mathematics 1, 2, 3 for you high school teachers that teach that. In California, they might call it integrated math 1, integrated math 2, integrated math 3. So be aware of that. That will blend in the geometry portions in with the math 1, 2, 3. Whereas the traditional model is Algebra 1, 2, and high school geometry. So just be aware of that. So look for the courses that best match what your students or your child has been learning. Now, on Khan Academy, there are two main options for checking is my child ready for the state test? So the first one is the quick and easy one, but it's also the least informative. It's called the course challenge. It takes about 30 questions, about 30 to 45 minutes, unless they're pretty slow at the questions, and then they might need more time than that. It's kind of like a final exam that a student might have in middle school or high school. It covers the whole year. However, because it only has 30-ish questions, it does not assess all standards. For example, in 6th grade math in California, there are 140 to 150 state standards, and there's no way 30 questions will cover all of those. So just be aware of that. It will be this is a quick way to find out, hey, are they doing okay? If they're doing great, wonderful. Whatever the course challenge tested the children on, they did great, but you don't know how they're doing on the other 100, 120 plus other standards. So just be aware of that. The course challenge is located at the bottom of the course's main page. So you go to the course page and just find it at the bottom and start it there. And the course challenge cannot be assigned using the teacher tools in Khan Academy. It cannot be assigned. And because of that, it lacks the data analysis and follow-up instructional resources that I love that are found in the unit tests. And that's our next option, is the unit tests, option 2. These are shorter tests. They're 9 to 12 questions, take 9 to 24 minutes on average, give or take. Every course, every unit is different. They're located at the bottom of each unit, but these are more systematic. They assess nearly every standard in that unit. So if your students take the unit test for every unit in the entire course, then they will have been measured on every single standard for your state, assuming they're taking the right course, going to the right course that matches your state standards the best. So this can be assigned. Unit tests can be assigned, and I'll show you where to do that. And therefore, this allows for data analysis and follow-up instruction, and I'll show you that right now. So I'm gonna see if I can exit out of this. Come over. Let's see here. We're gonna hit escape. I got some tabs set up. Soon as my computer says, yeah, let's look at the tabs. So as that is loading, hopefully this loads relatively quickly. As that is loading, before I can get to the tabs, here we go, beautiful. Okay, so as this is loading, I want you to know that in the top left corner, up here is the Courses tab of Khan Academy. Up here, Courses. And if you click See All Math for K through 8, or down here, See All Math, this covers K through college, then you can see all those other course options like integrated math, math 1, 2, 3, or the Eureka Math or Engage New York or Illustrative Math. You can see all that. And I'm not going to peruse all that for you, but just so you know. So the course challenge, so I'm looking at 6th grade as a sample. I'm picking that because that's right in the middle of K through 12, but also it's what I teach, so I'm familiar with it. So here's 6th grade. If a student goes to the main page for their course, so I'm in learner view, not teacher view. So pretending I'm a student, and they click the course challenge, they can click that and start a course challenge. There it is, 30, 45 minutes, okay? And then I wanna show you, as they do these course challenges or unit tests, it'll tell them right away if they got the question right or wrong. I'm gonna get it wrong on purpose, okay? I know this is really painful for you teachers out there to see an answer get wrong. So let's see here. Let's say it means this, and let's say B is 3, and I'm pretty sure that's the wrong answer, okay? And it says, oh no, it's wrong. Encourage your students when they're doing these course challenges, or I recommend the unit tests. Encourage them, if they get a question wrong, to stop and learn what went wrong. Where did they misunderstand? Click this right here, get help. Click that, and it will show them step by step and teach them how to understand the proper way to answer this question. And there's videos at the bottom if they need help immediately. Tell the kids, hey, this is about learning and reviewing what we should have learned. Maybe they forgot how to do this because you taught some of these standards way back in September or October. So it's okay. I mean, I would encourage you to allow them to learn from mistakes immediately while it's fresh in their brain. Okay, so that's that. And then what I recommend is that you instead assign the unit tests. So literally this Monday, I'm on spring break right now. This Monday, I'm going to assign my own students the unit test for the first unit of 6th grade. So if you go to your course, if you go to your teacher view and go to your teacher main page and click your course and go to the assign bar over here, that'll bring up this page. And then you will want to go down to whatever unit you want to assign and open it up. So I would open up this unit, ratios, rates, and percentages. That's the first unit, and I'm going to assign this. Why not? May as well do it right now, right? Go to the bottom of that unit, and there's a unit test. I want to assign it. So I click this. I'm going to assign that. Okay, there we go. And let's say they're going to start today, and it's due April 1st. That gives them plenty of time to do it. And that's now assigned. There it is. Okay, yay. And when they log into their student view, they will see that in their assignments menu. Okay, now after it's assigned, they need to work on it. And as they're working on it, encourage them if they make mistakes. Click the, get hints. I want to understand what I got wrong because I want to learn from this right now. But as they're working on it, let's see, that was a sample problem we were going to get wrong, but I already showed you how to encourage the kids to look for help when they get something wrong. Okay, so as they finish it, so let's say 19, here's a different unit test, arithmetic operations. As they finish it, it'll tell you how many students are done. And then if you click responses, it'll open up the responses, and let me show you what that looks like. Let's see here. There we go. It'll open up all the responses, and it shows you every single question ranked from most missed to best answered. So here's, wow, 6 kids got this wrong. Nobody got it right. Looks like a very hard question. Woo, look at that. Talking about PEMDAS or GEMS, that is challenging for a 6th grader. No wonder nobody got it right. This will show you all the questions that everybody put, and then you can reveal the answer. And then you can use a drawing tool and work it out with the kids using the drawing tool, like if you project this live for the students to see. And you can see the hints and walk through the process to show the kids how to do this. So this is excellent reteaching follow-up after the unit test is done. Okay, and then I wanted to come back. Let's see here. Let's click the responses. So yeah, there we go. Coming back here, as kids are working on the unit, you can see it'll automatically work on, hey, how they're doing. And so if I assign the ratios, rates, or percentages unit, I can see how they're doing. If they've been working on that unit or after the unit test, this will change. This is their progress bar for that unit. It'll go up or down, and I can see how they're doing. But then if I go to this tab, if I click the unit, here's the arithmetic operations unit. I've changed all the students' names so you don't, for privacy reasons. That's just their initials. You can see how they're doing in the unit, but then this is really cool. If you go up to the activity overview and the skills, this will self-populate. If they do well on a unit test, if they get a question right, it'll put them to familiar. And if they've learned it before and they get it right again, it'll move them up to proficient or maybe even mastered. So anything that is purple, that's a good sign. They're doing good. So then anything they're struggling with, I can open up that skill. Ooh, look, they're really struggling with dividing fractions word problems. I can open this up and I can see, wow, here's who's really struggling with it. They attempted it. That would be during a unit test and they got it wrong. And then who got it right. And then maybe they did some extra practice and who leveled up even higher. So that's one way to check how they're doing as a class after they all finish the unit test. It will assess them on pretty much every standard in the whole unit. And then you could reassign that specific skill. And then you can have them work on just that skill if you need to reteach that before the state tests happen. And then I like to come over, let's see. Yeah, so that's how I would do this. I would assign the unit tests, coming back to here. See, I would assign the unit tests and then I would track their growth. And then after the unit test is done, I would then look at the responses, click the responses bar, and it'll load that up. And I can see how everybody is doing on that. Now, this is 0 because I reassigned that whole unit test. So that's what I would do. And then I would do it all over again for the next unit. Assign it, have everybody take it, analyze the responses together as a class, and then talk about it as a class overall. And reteach it using those tools with the drawing and the hints for that question. Oh, I lost the one that showed the exact examples. So that's what I would do. And then just do unit test, then do the next unit test, the next, maybe after each unit test. I know in California, they have interim assessments pretty much for each unit. And so we will do one unit test on Khan Academy, analyze it, reteach where most kids really struggled, and then we'll do the actual state practiced unit test that covers just that. It's like a block. It's called an interim assessment block. It covers just that unit. And then they'll really get the real feel of the real deal. So I've discovered that as kids learn this way, Khan Academy is so rigorous and so well matches at least the Common Core standards nationwide for the states that use Common Core. It really prepares them very, very well for the state test. So that's what I would do. And if they're not doing well on the unit tests on Khan Academy or the course challenge, they're not ready for the state test. So the next question is, well, what do you do next if they're not doing so good? Oh, by the way, here's Khan Academy has a map on how it all matches the state standards. So what I would have them do next, as Google reloads the slides here, face the facts. If they're not doing good on Khan Academy or on your state practice test, the free ones available from the state, if they're not doing well, they're not ready. But that's okay. You're checking ahead of time, so there's still time to go in and reteach as needed. But be honest. Don't say, well, you know, maybe Khan Academy is too hard. No, I've learned if they can't do it on Khan Academy, they probably cannot do it on the state test because it's so well aligned with the same, almost the exact same level of rigor and vocabulary and even the way it's presented. It's very similar, not exact, but very similar. So face the facts, reteach and reassign the skills as necessary. Use Khan Academy to remediate. Maybe the kids aren't doing so good because you got to go back and remediate. I mean, hello, we just had the whole COVID Zoom teaching lockdowns, school lockdowns and all that for 2 years. So maybe they're way behind. Did you know Khan Academy in the last 2 years has these brand new Get Ready For courses? So for example, there's Get Ready For Algebra 1. And it's a Cliff's Notes or a super quick review of the skills they need from the previous courses so they can survive the upcoming course, Algebra 1. So the Get Ready For 6th grade course is all just the 5th grade and some 4th grade skills that they need to survive 6th grade. So whatever grade or course you teach, consider looking or assigning the Get Ready For course or the unit from the Get Ready For course the kids need, so they have the foundations that they need to do well on your current grade level material. Also, teach the standards to mastery. Oops, put that back up. Teach the standards to mastery. Expect the kids to learn it. Don't make excuses for them. If they're not mastering it on Khan Academy or doing well on the state test practice, they don't know it. So expect mastery. So if they don't master it, reteach it. Again, it's better for them to master some skills than cover all of it and really learn nothing. So if they can do well on Khan Academy's unit tests and course challenges, they will very likely do super well on the state test. And so that is ring true with my own students, and we've had results like this. And therefore, my students, you can see them here. Whoops. Every student can succeed. Look at those faces. They are so excited about their growth, and your kids can have the same smiles. We did it, and so can you. So next steps, consider mastery learning. I know Sal Khan himself is a big proponent of that. And a couple years ago, right before the whole pandemic thing hit, I did a webinar with Jeremy on how my sixth graders aced math by taking them back to kindergarten. We reviewed all the skills starting all the way back in kindergarten. So by the time they got back up to sixth grade, they not only understood the sixth grade material better, they learned it faster because they already had a great foundation. That's what I did with my students this year. We went back to kindergarten, reviewed all the key skills using Khan Academy, Mastery Learning Model, and then I literally taught my first sixth grade math lesson the first week of the second quarter in October was when I actually started teaching sixth grade math. And I finished teaching sixth grade math before the end of the third quarter. So in less than half a year, I taught an entire year of math. How did I do that? Because my kids had a great foundation by going back to kindergarten. They could all keep up. Sorry, I'm in my classroom. You can hear the school bell. And then there's also an hour-long version that gets more into the details. So ask Jeremy for the links to those if you want more information about that. But Jeremy, I think I'm done. You guys can email me questions, but please be respectful. If there are questions related to this topic or to mastery learning or helping your class understand this way of teaching, I'm totally here for you. But if it's about how do I sign in Khan Academy and start like using the website, reach out to Jeremy. He's got an expert team that'll totally help meet your needs way better than I can. So, okay, Jeremy, I think you're up.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tim. You've dedicated your spring break to helping other teachers, which is just incredible after the year it's been for all educators across the country. That being said, questions are already starting to come in. If you've got a burning question for Tim, just ask it in the questions tab, and we'll try to get to it in the next several minutes. So let me start with a really juicy one from Emmy. Emmy just started as a new resource specialist and is working with students who are really struggling with math right now, maybe with a couple of years of deficits. Given that it's hard for the students to verbalize what they know or don't know, how can Emmy use something like Khan Academy and Mastery Learning to understand what those gaps are and then start tackling them?
I love this question. Emmy, you will be blown away if you have your kids go back literally to kindergarten. Assign them the kindergarten course, use the Mastery Learning tools on Khan Academy, give them a placement and a goal and a deadline, and your kids will say, kindergarten, I don't need kindergarten. You'll be shocked. They probably do. Maybe just assign them early math, which covers K1 and some of 2. But you'll be blown away. Their concepts of number sense, they're probably struggling with. I mean, I don't even know what grade level you work with, Emmy, but even if you work with high schoolers, they're probably struggling in math because they struggle with number sense and the meaning of numbers and what that's all about. And if you just take them back to Khan Academy and focus on mastery learning, back using early math, and then also after they graduate that course, expect 100% mastery. After they graduate that course, then take them to have them master all of second grade, third grade, and then after third grade, the courses get really big and it's kind of hard to catch up to their current grade level. I would, instead of assigning fourth grade, I would give them the goal of get ready for fifth grade. That's an actual course on Khan Academy, and it's just the life and death must learn skills from fourth grade that kids need to be able to do fifth grade math. And same with fifth grade. Don't assign them the entire fifth grade course, assign them get ready for sixth grade, which is just the Cliffs notes, the Sparks notes, the super most important skills they need to move on. And if you do that up to the point of their current grade level and then expect them to start mastering their full current grade level, whatever grade level they're at, you will see phenomenal growth. I know one parent in Austin, Texas reached out to me, and she had her daughters do the same model. And one of her daughters really struggles with math, and it's just not her thing. And we went all the way back. She had her kids go all the way back to kindergarten, and they leveled up over the summer, and they started sixth grade in the top math group at their school because they went back and used mastery learning. And this year they're getting ready to just crush the state test in Texas because of that. So hope that answered that question.
Well, going along with that, Gary had a comment. Gary says, I get frustrated when the teacher's biggest concern is covering a certain number of chapters. Mastery is the only way. It's practically a Tim Vandenberg style poster right there. So a couple of logistical questions. Keith wants to know, when you assign questions to your students, do you assign them all to do the same questions or to work on different questions? Because obviously there's always a little bit of a concern around cheating.
That's your choice as the teacher. When I have my students work through the skills, just regular learning, like I teach it, now everybody practice, I have them do not the same questions, because let's all be honest, kids are smart. They know how to look to the next screen and copy answers. In case you didn't know that, kids do that these days. But if your goal is to then go back and reteach each question and see how every single kid did on that question, instructionally post practice, it is more effective if they all did the same question. But you have to trust your kids. So you got to build that culture of trust. And I do trust my students, but I personally have them do a mix. Now, when you assign the unit tests, it does not let you assign the exact same questions for every kid. I tried, I checked it out. That is only possible when you assign individual skills. So just be aware of that.
Great. And then a couple of related questions in terms of how it works in your classroom. Sarah wants to know, how much time are you spending on Khan versus direct whole class instruction? And Jill wants to know, are you using Khan instead of a textbook or as a complement to a textbook?
Well, my district has their adopted digital textbook, and I tried using it for one lesson plan, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is not going to work. That was many years ago, and I was even on the textbook adoption committee. That was the best choice we had. There's great textbooks out there. Use what you love. You're the teacher. You're in charge of your classroom, but Khan Academy is my practice textbook. I'm the teacher. I teach the skills. I project on the big screen the actual questions as samples to work through together as a class. They take out their math notebook and they take notes, and I lecture using the actual practice problems on Khan Academy, and then I assign the skill, and I literally put up on the big screen that one. Let's see here. Oh, it might take too long to load. It's not that one. Oh, maybe it was that one. Hold on. I put this up on the big screen. Let's say it's this skill. Let's find one that's a little more juicy. Let's say it's this skill. I'll project on the big screen. We have a talk about, hey, how kids do has nothing to do with how smart they are. We're all going to learn this. I expect everyone to master it. And then as kids learn a skill, they move from not started to attempted to familiar to proficient. And the kids who are the kids who are proficient and mastered get permission to then leave their seats and go help everybody else who is merely familiar or attempted or not started. So they peer teach each other. And so we're a whole class. We're a community of learners. We're all here to learn. And sometimes the smartest math student ends up getting helped by the less smart math student, the lower math student, because the lower kid, it clicks with them that day, and they get to go help the brainiac learn the skill. I don't care. Whoever learns it first gets to get out of their seat and go help others. So that's how I use Khan Academy. It is my textbook. It is how I teach. I trust it. It follows the state standards so well, at least in California and any other state that follows Common Core. It is what it is, and I love Khan. So
that's awesome. Well, I want to be respectful of your time and the audience's, but I want to thank you so much, Tim, for sharing your expertise and wisdom with us today. And I want to thank everyone for joining us. You will get a copy of this recording of Tim's slides, as well as a certificate of attendance in your inbox in about an hour. So look for that shortly. And in the meantime, just know that we all at Khan Academy are rooting for your students on these exams, and then rooting for everyone to have a much deserved summer vacation after a very tough year. So thank you, Tim, for inspiring us as we head into the spring. Here's wishing you all a lovely start to the springtime. Thank you so much, Tim.
Bye, everyone.